All right, welcome to day 3 of the driver's ed course. Once again, make sure that you put your email, your name, school, all the information, like is your uh, full name, start time, finish time, special codes, any videos you watch. Today's day 3, and today's sort of the 30 to 40% finished completion type thing. Now I want to try to apply what you've learned the last 3 days or 2 days prior. And I would prefer you do the assignment. This is the assignment video after today's videos are done. That way you get more knowledge. It'd be easier for you to do the assignments that I'm asking you to do now. You may choose to do them first. That's fine. Just keep in mind you can gain more knowledge to begin with, and with watching the today's videos. That way you make it easier for you. So today's first assignment, try to allow yourself an hour and a half to complete, and I'll get with you on that. The second assignment, I'll email everyone a final exam. Normally I'll let you take the exam as a practice. That way, if you're getting questions and things of that nature, you'll have the answers. You can email me if you're getting questions and things like that. At the end of the course, we will do that same exam as a final. As I mentioned at the very first introduction, you have to have an 85 or better in the exam part of it to pass. I grade you on 2 points each. It's 46 questions. It's multiple choice as far as the questions go. But anyway, so allow yourself an hour and a half. If it goes into 2 hours, that's fine. That's up to you. You can use Word doc, Google Doc, or just do it in the body of an email. But today's first assignment, what I want to try to do is 15 questions and answers. Okay? Of what we've already learned. Now, obviously, day 4 and 5, you've got to learn some more and things like that. And some of you already know some stuff. So the resources you can use, I forgot to add one more while I'm thinking of it. Videos and PowerPoints. Okay. So we've went over, like I said, 30-40% of the course already. Some of the resources, what I want you to do is write out the questions on computer. If you handwrite it, that's fine. Scan it, attach it if you prefer to handwrite versus type. I don't care, whichever way is easiest for you. Or you can put it in Word doc. Give me the questions and answers, or Google Doc, or just in the body of the email. So give me 15 questions and answers. Okay. All right. So resources you can use: Google, Kahoot. We haven't played Kahoot. Kahoot's a fun game. If you want to play it or get some resources from it, that's great. Normal classroom setting here in Concord and some other schools that I teach at, we play a lot of Kahoot. It's a great way to learn. But in the discovery part of Kahoot, there's a little search. Put North Carolina Driver's Ed or NC Driver's Ed. There's 15, 20 quizzes. Great for you to learn more and more. Some things maybe I hadn't even thought of that other teachers have, things like that. So Kahoot's a great resource. The handbook that I gave you, the North Carolina Handbook. As I mentioned the very first day, and so forth, and as we went through, it's vital you know the handbook. It really is. Okay. Driving-test.org, we may go over some of that today. I'm not sure if we'll have time, but Kia in North Carolina, they're free. Excuse me. They're free test. I've bought the premium version. I think it's $50 for the year, $30 for the year, something like that. It gives you even more tests and more ways to learn. There's a test on fines and consequences through being pulled over. There's tests on drinking and driving. There's tests on the signs. There's tests on road conditions. There's plenty of tests. And the beautiful thing about drivingtest.org is a lot of times if you miss a question, miss the answer, okay, it'll tell you a lot of times A, the answer, and B, where it is located in the handbook. So you may miss something maybe in chapter 4. Well, that helps you go back and do some more research. Okay, I missed this, but it's in chapter 4, kind of put some association together. Okay, then of course the videos and PowerPoints and whatever I said throughout the course on the whiteboard and things like that. Feel free to use it. When you're Googling or Kahoot or stuff, or even Driving Test, make sure it's North Carolina associated. I'm not interested in the laws of California. No offense to anybody in California that sees this course. I'm just at this particular moment, I'm just focusing in more on North Carolina. Okay, so you write out the questions, give me some short answers. Okay, then allow yourself an hour. For the most part, when I've done it in the classroom, it takes, if you do it right, it takes about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. Don't give me questions like what color is a stop sign. Okay, don't give me questions like, what does green mean? Okay, I know you know that. Okay, I want you to think. Well, normally in a classroom environment, what I normally do is I make you switch papers and grade somebody else's for points. If you've done thoroughly a good job, I will add 5 points to your exam. So some of you, I had one student last class, they made an 80, but they got 5 points extra for their exam, made them have an 85. So they didn't have to retake the course. Some students, depending on, like I said, the top notch would be 5 points, 3 points, and then 1 point. Okay, and then some of you, 0 points. However, you have to do the assignment. If you do not email it and turn it in to me, you're going to be missing 5 points. So it's a 5-point penalty. Okay, so let me reiterate. It's very important for you to understand what I'm trying to say. 15 questions and answers. Okay. Some of your resources could be Google, Kahoot, the handbook, North Carolina handbook, drivingtest.org. Make sure both have North Carolina for Kahoot or North Carolina for Driving Test or Google. Videos, PowerPoints, anything I've talked about throughout the course. Short answers, good solid short answers. Don't just give me very vague answers just to get the assignment done. Okay, I'm not interested in elementary type questions and answers. You're wasting your time and my time. Okay, so if that's what you think you're going to do, just already know you're going to get 5 points deducted. So if you made an 85 on the final exam, then you'd have 5 points deducted, then you'd fail the course and you'd have to take the course again. And you don't want to do that. Okay, I don't want you to have to do that. So allow yourself an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. That's strictly up to you. Like I said, make these questions thought-provoking. Make me have to think. Okay? If you do a bang-up job, everything looks really good, top-notch, high-level questions, high-level answers, 5 points, and then 3 points, and then 1 point. And if you just give me the elementary-style questions, you don't get anything. Okay? And then if you don't turn it in to me by way of email, then you'll have negative 5 points. Okay? So make sure you do the assignment. Make sure you do a bang-up job so you can get the 5 points. Okay? Don't give me a 0 assignment. Okay? You're wasting your time, my time, everyone's time. Okay? Just to get the assignment done. This is not busy work, okay? Sometimes you're in, social studies or math or English or whatever class you're taking. Sometimes there are times that the teacher gives you busy work, especially if it's a substitute or something like that. Maybe the substitute's not familiar with the subject or what you're teaching, what you're learning, and so sometimes they give you busy work just to pass the time. Okay, so don't do that to me. Okay, I refuse that. Okay, and you sure don't want to be -5, because what if you do a bang up job on the exam and get knocked down to a 95? Okay, where your friend next to you did a bang up job on this and got 105 extra points. So once again, make sure these assignments taken care of, like I said, the proper way, so you can get the credit. Remember, you're 30-40% done. A few more class dates, and that's it. Thank you, and we'll talk about the second exam in a minute. Whoops. Okay, welcome back to day 3. We talked a little bit earlier about the questions and answer assignment that I want you to do prior to this next assignment. As I mentioned too, it'd probably be more beneficial if you watch all the remaining videos for today, then go back and do the assignment that I asked you to, the 15 questions and answers. Okay. Today, I want the second assignment is the exam. It's hard to see, I know. Don't expect you to really see a lot of it. Okay. There's two copies of the exam. There's an A and a B. Okay. And then there's an answer sheet that I'll email you. Both the exam A or exam B and the answer sheet. Okay. So print them off. All right. So say it's just a standard exam you've seen multiple times throughout your high school career, middle school, high school careers. Nothing major to the exam part. As I mentioned, there's 46 questions. Okay. Here's the answer sheet. They're A, B, C, D, I think. They're A, B, C, D, E, D. Okay. So after you get done with this, what I want you to do is either type up 1 through 46 in a Word doc, or if you want to, you can use this answer sheet. But whether it's Word doc or the body of the email or Google Doc or this answer sheet, there's some information I want you to have on there: your full name, the date you take to the practice, whether it's A or B. Okay. For the practice exam, you may not know whether you get 5 points, 3 points, or 1, okay, or -5. Okay, so don't worry about it. This is for practice. Okay, but you'll know before the end of the class of the course, before you take the final, how many points you got. I'll email you the results, and then you can add them to your answer sheet. So in this situation, I'd be Brian Cook, 4/11/2020, test A, 5 points. Okay. That way, when I'm grading through here, I'll give you a final grade, and plus I'll add the points to you. Okay. That way, this is your final exam. So keep up with your printout, your PDF file. Keep up with it, and then this will give me an opportunity to grade you as in the class. So what you would do is take the exam on an answer sheet here if you'd like, print out the answer sheet, fill it in, and then scan it and then email it back to me if you'd like. I'd prefer it that way. Actually, it's a lot faster grading because there's a lot of you guys out there taking this online course. It'd be a lot easier for me to grade if that's possible. If you could, print it out and then handwrite it in and then scan it back to me, that would be the ideal situation. If not, Google Doc, Word doc, or the body email would work as well. Okay, so this is how you get graded. So once you pass this on the last day, Then you'll go to the driving part, okay? So you have to pass this. This will be your final exam. So this way you have no excuse to fail because I'm giving you the questions and I'm giving you the answers. Okay, there's no reason to fail. If you fail, that's strictly on you. That just tells me as an instructor that you didn't take this course serious enough, and also too, you didn't look over the assignments. Okay, so during the exam, allot yourself an hour, hour and a half as well. I'm always amazed what I like to see. Like if it was a classroom environment, the first day we take the exam, it takes a lot longer for you to do, and then by the second time you take the exam, it's like this, and that's what I want to see. I know there's 30 to 40% done. That still means we've got a lot more material to go over. Okay, so if it's stuff you say, oh, well, I haven't went over this. What I want you to be able to see and do is to associate. Oh, well, I missed number 16. What was 16? Oh yeah, I remember that from a previous video on day 4, right? And kind of put things together like that. That's where I'm really kind of shooting for. Okay, there's things that we'll talk about today that we haven't talked about so far that may not be on the exam that you didn't already know. So there is one. Let me go ahead and talk to you about it. I think it's on test A 16. I think 24 on the other test B. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we haven't went over this at all. It's in your handbook, and you'll hear about it more and more as the classes go. It's called the 2-second rule. Okay. 2 seconds is pretty easy to do, but the national average is 3. Okay. But let me explain to you real quickly what 2 seconds is and why the questions 16 and 24 on the exams are a little different. Okay. I draw horribles. I did not. Let's say you're driving down the road. Okay. And you're behind a car. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me do something different. All right. All right, we'll use these two instead of me trying to draw. Okay. This is a road, obviously. All right. Let's say you want to see North Carolina says 2 seconds. The national average is 3. What it's basically saying is pick. Let's say if this is a line on the road. Whoops. Line on the road. Okay. All right. And you want to know how far back you are and how safe you are. Once this car passes that line, pick a spot, could be a tree, could be a fire hydrant, could be a line on the road, could be a telephone pole, whatever. Okay? Then count to yourself 1001, 1002. Okay, if you cross that line at 2, you're safe. You may have some issues, but you don't want to get any closer than 2 seconds. Okay, a lot of people do because the cars nowadays ride so smoothly and they have the stop warning sign. Vehicles, you could stop on itself. I wouldn't trust them, but that's just me. All right, so the national average is 3, so it'd be 1001, 1002, 1003. Okay. When it's raining or you got poor road conditions or snow or dark, you probably need to do 3 or 4 seconds minimum. Okay. The reason 2 seconds is important, more or less, at 60 miles an hour, it takes roughly, give or take a foot or two, give or take conditions. There's a lot of variables, but just on average. At a car going 60 miles an hour, it takes about 360 feet to stop. Okay, 360 feet is if you guys who go to football games, soccer games, and things like that, it's goalpost to goalpost. So in 1 second. I forgot to mention that. Oops. Abbreviate a second real quick. All right. So as you can see, 1 second. If you're at 1 second here, and that person decides to stop, guess what? You're going to be in the back seat with them. Okay. Average person, whether you're young or old, middle age, whatever, it takes about a second for your foot to get off the gas and start applying the brake. So if you're 1 second and this guy slams on brake in front of you, this person slams on brakes in front of you, chances are you're gonna hit them. Okay. So by 2 seconds, it gives you a second to get your foot off the brake, and then of course stop the car. Okay. If you're 3 seconds, you got more time. If you're 4 seconds, more time. But if it's raining, nighttime, things like that, hydroplane conditions are right. We haven't talked a lot about hydroplaning yet. Then you need to give yourself a little bit more time. Okay. So that getting back to the exam, that's why I'll accept on the exam. I think it's 16 on exam A. I think it's 24 on the exam B. I'll accept 2 seconds or 3 seconds, whatever the letter is. Either one is fine with me. That way you get credit for it. Okay. So it's pretty easy. I'll download the PDF file when I get everybody's email together. If you would, as I mentioned earlier, scan this and then the answer sheet, put all the information I just requested, and then email it back to me. Okay. Thank you.